Project YouTube channel for yet another live predictions video. Today for UFC Fight Night, Yusuff versus Barboza. That is right, Barboza back in another main event in the UFC. A little long in the tooth, but still with a little momentum. Now at the age of, what is he, like 37, 38? He's getting up there. And we will dive into that matchup, as well as every single other matchup here on the card, starting with the prelims all the way to the main event. And stick around till the end of the video if you're just joining us offline after we stream live, and you're just clicking through timestamps to see our picks, our predictions, our rundown for a specific matchup, or just, you know, in between the banter that we do employ here on the live stream. Don't forget, don't miss out at the end of this video for our degenerate and safe parlays of the week, brought to you by our friend in the live chat, Volcan. By the way, guys, I will also be streaming on my second channel tonight, the Soda Pod. After the Minnesota Wild game, we will be hosting a post-game show, like a 20 to 30 minute post-game show on my second channel, the Soda Pod. So join me after the Minnesota Wild game later if you guys are still up. It's literally just Q&A. And you know what? Exclusive members on the City Life Project, as well as exclusive members on the Soda Pod, will have the opportunity to call in, text, and leave a voicemail on our new phone line. That is right. So I'll let you guys know in the Discord as well. So tough. But, you know, we're a craft beer and hockey podcast. So Sota Pod, Minnesota. I mean, I thought it was good, Phony. I thought it was good. Anyways, let's take a quick look at the comments here. Then we'll get to our predictions, the cadence in which we employ this, the predictions on the show. By the way, I'm going to put my headphones on here. Thought I could do this without the headphones, but that's better. How we're going to employ this is we're going to take them in chunks of 3. So we'll do a breakdown for the first 3, then we'll get back to the live chats. But we'll start with the live chat here before we get into everything. I have all my picks here. I got all my notes. I got all my picks, and I have our degenerate and safe parlay of the week. All right, let's get to the comments here. What's up, Ratao? What's up, Anthony on TV? What's up, Sis? Yeah, dude, I've been hearing about what's going on with UFC and USADA. Not just that, you know, parting ways after the contract's done, but like everything you've been talking about in the live chat here. At first, I thought like you scared me. I thought it was my stream that was like being blocked, and I was like, oh no, not this shit again. But we good. We good. What's up, Sis? One of our exclusive members. What's up, Volcan? One of our exclusive members. What's up, Disappointed Chael's son, and one of our exclusive members who, honestly, best username, best picture out of everybody on YouTube. Phony, what's going on? Fight fam. Dude, Usman Chimaev. I mean, I have to make a video about everything that went down. I don't know if I'll have time to record it tonight because of some of the hockey duties. Home opener for the Minnesota Wild. And I'm doing that post-game show. But tomorrow morning, I'll likely do a video on that if I have time before work. Let's go, Volk. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Like fine wine, and thank you, buddy. Yeah, it's the reverse retro. I prefer the North Stars in this color, but this was a gift, so I'm not going to complain. What's up, Leli? Is it Lee or Leli? Am I getting it right? Leli? What's going on? Yo, Tommy Chong, Inca. It's on YouTube and or their Facebook channel. Inca FC. I think I watched it on Facebook last time. So Facebook is the prelims, and UFC Fight Pass might have the main card, but I don't know if it's like UFC Fight Pass in Peru or in a different country that you're allowed to see and it's blocked. Regardless, I watched it last time on Facebook for sure, their Facebook page. And I'm pretty sure the main card is on Fight Pass. All my T's sound like D's. Sounds like Soda Pod when I say it. Old man Usman was pound for pound last year. It's just Lee. First or last, can't mess it up, to be honest. Lee. I love it. I love it. Guys, keep the comments coming in the live chat. This is awesome. Don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't already. And remember, go check out my second channel, the Sota Pod. If you want to join our post-game show, we could talk about some other games and news around the league as well. What's up, Diego? Good to see you. Crazy happened to UFC 294 about the switch up bouts, but now I'm even more excited for the UFC 294. Let's go, Volk. He's the baddest motherfucker. He is. I can't say I'm more excited, and maybe I'm on an island here. I was excited to see what Paulo Costa had against that of a Chimaev, whether he would actually make it a kind of like the burn style fight, or if Chimaev was just going to plow through him. And furthermore, I was excited for that one, not even for the fight itself, more so for just like they actually didn't like each other. So there was a lot of hype, not hype, build up. Maybe hate's too strong of a word, but they don't like each other. And there was just something extra to that one that was like natural, not pushed by the UFC, which was cool. So as a fan, I was excited for that one a little bit more. Usman Chimaev will be a good fight. I think Usman was like preparing to fight soon, so he's in good shape. So I don't think he's going to lose that easily. If he does fall, I think it might go to decision, or it'll be who knows. But I think that one will be competitive, more competitive than an injured, obviously, Paulo Costa. And then that for Volkanovski. I love Volkanovski so much. It's just like, this is just so like he's just set up to lose here. You know what I mean? Like, is he not nursing injuries right now? Did he not say after the Yair fight that like I'm taking some time off to nurse some injuries? So like, look, he's still the GOAT for taking this. Can't say that I'm super confident in him winning this one, but if he does, my goodness, one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. Like, it's absolutely insane. So I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not. I put it this way. I am excited, and it's not like it went down like a lot of notches, but I would say that I'm less excited than I was before, in that like I wanted to see a healthy Charles fight. I wanted to see, assumingly, a healthy Paulo fight Chimaev. Now we're seeing two guys who are very good. Volk, one of the best. Usman, like you said, pound for pound last year, but short notice going to Abu Dhabi. This isn't just like flying within the United States or Volk in New Zealand, somewhere close, right? Like this is quite the tall task for either of them. I like the stream. Good day. What's going on, man? Good to see you. What do you think about Saturday the YouTube boxing fights? Could honestly care less. I have no thoughts. I don't give a single shit at all. If Mike Perry fights, then I might tune in. Respect to Usman and Volk 100% for stepping in, but I was looking forward to Paulo Costa fighting Charles, but I got to be positive and excited for this card. Like you always say, I'm a positive kid. Yeah, and if anything, the positive of this card is Charles now doesn't have to fight in Abu Dhabi. If Charles does get the title shot again next, which who knows now, at least he doesn't have to fight in Abu Dhabi. Hoping the parlay hits Alekseeva, Saaiman, Cháirez, and Maya. I think that one will hit. Anyways, keep the comments coming, guys. If I miss your comments in this next segment, don't worry. I'll try to get back to them as soon as I can. We are going to... This is the cadence for this stream, all right, guys? We're going to go in bunches of 3. We're going to highlight, go through their resume. I'll give my predictions and picks. We're going to go in bunches of 3, then we'll go back to the live chat, or else we'll be here all night. I mean, look, we're 10 minutes in, and I'm just reading your guys' comments. And I do have to watch a Minnesota Wild game that starts at 7 p.m. So let's get this show on the road. What's up, Andrew? Good to see you. What am I wearing? Minnesota Wild jersey. It's opening night, guys. Again, reminder, around 9:30, 10 p.m. Central Time, so around 10:30 Eastern, I will be live on my second channel for a post-game show to wrap up, celebrate the Minnesota Wild home opener against the Florida Panthers. Andrew A., it's great to see you. All right, guys, like I said, if I missed your comment, I'll get back to it in the next segment, but we are diving in to the preview. First fight on the card, and again, this card is thin. This card is thin. You may need some howler head, and they ain't paying me to say this, to give you some rose-colored goggles to be able to look at this fight card like that of a Diego, Mr. Glass half full. Ashley Yoder against Emily Ducote. What do you want me to say? 8-8 Yoder, Emily Ducote from Bellator on a 2-fight losing streak right now. I mean, we won't spend too much time on this one, but like what is she doing in the UFC? Is the women's division in the UFC that bad? That bad that this woman still has a job? Dan Henderson, Team Quest, 3-7 in the UFC, 1-0. Yeah. Yep. Emily Ducote, she's not bad. 2-fight losing streak right now. She's 3-2 in her last 5. 29 years of age. She's not bad, but she's nothing special either. This is the first fight on the card for a reason. 3 KO, TKO, 4 submissions, 5 decisions, 4-4 in Bellator. She's had time in other decent promotions outside the UFC, like Invicta as well, where she went 4-1, like Bellator, 1-2 in the UFC, and lost to Angela Hill and Lupita Godinez, so not the worst. Now I know her opponent has lost to Angela Hill twice as well. Angela Hill ain't the worst women's fighter. She gets robbed on decisions a lot, as Benjamin knows very, very well. And it has some decent wins on her resume as well, in and outside of the UFC. Yeah, like I said, Emily Ducote, she's not great. She's okay. She's fought some decent opponents. She's beaten some decent opponents as well. She's fought multiple decent promotions. She ain't 8-8. She ain't 35 years old. And I believe Ashley Yoder was out for like 2+ years as well. I mean, again, nothing's a lock in women's MMA. But Ducote should win this one, and that is my pick. She is minus 285 at the time of this recording. All right, moving up the card here. Chris Gutierrez against Alatengheili. Again, these guys from, Inner Mongolia have been absolutely tearing up both one championship and the UFC as of late. So, like, I think Chris Gutierrez is a dangerous cat. Right away, I'm like, oh, do I pick this guy from Inner Mongolia plus 195? That's actually not a bad underdog. Honestly, there's a lot of underdogs that I'm gonna be rolling the dice on. Just heads up throughout this card. So like, as much as Volkan says I'm good at capping, mixed martial arts, but I'm not. Okay, I just do this for fun. This might be a risky card for some of you. So I'm just saying. Tread lightly. I see Foul One in the live chat as well. I'll get to the comments, guys, after these next two rundowns here. But let's get to it. We got Chris Gutierrez, 19-4-1. He is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He lost his last fight via decision. He is 32 years of age, and he's a pretty big favorite at minus 250. Again, dangerous striking from Gutierrez, and pretty much in his prime now. He's been around for a while, but he's kind of been putting it all together as of late. 9 KO TKOs, 1 submission, 9 decisions, 7-2-1 in the UFC, 1-1 in the World Series of Fighting, 2-0 in LFA, and 1-0 in Bellator. So he's been around, man. He's been around in good promotions. Lost Pedro Munoz in his last fight, and again, it wasn't his best showing. He slowed down quite a bit towards the end of the fight, if I'm not mistaken. Nasty KO against Frankie Edgar, which got him ranked, I think, right? Spinning back fist. So 2 good finishes in a row, split decision there. The other fight's I don't want to say a boring fight, but the other fight's a fight to decision where he stuffs the takedowns, breaks the clinch, and picks apart his opponent on the outside, or he lands a beautiful finish. His opponent, Alatengheili, out of the Mongolian Knight, out of Inner Mongolia, China. He's plus 195. What is this here? Is this a draw against Gustavo? So we'll say 3-1-1 in his last 5 fights, 16-8-2. He changed to the fight ready, so very good. Jim, 5 KO TKO, 3 submissions, 8 decisions, 4-1-1 in the UFC, 1-0 in 1 championship. And fought in Road FC as well, where honestly, he didn't crush too many cans in Road FC. He actually fought some good opponents in Road FC, where he went on a pretty good run, as well as you can see. He's on a 2-fight win streak right now, mind you, against this fucking 12-5 guy and Kevin Kroom. I mean, draw against Gustavo Lopez, lost to Casey Kenny. Like, his 2020, 2020, and 2021 didn't look that good. But before then was on a 4-fight win streak. 2 of those in Road FC, 2 of those in the UFC, where he beat a 9-1 guy at 10-5. like I said, he honestly beat better guys in Road FC. Where was his one championship fight? Yeah, where the heck was his one championship fight? Anyways, I got the underdog on this one. Now, this one, like, I'm not encouraging you guys to pick this one. Okay, I just have a feeling. Like I said, the Mongolians, they've been killing it as of late in UFC and won championship. He's very aggressive in the clinch. Like I said, great run in Road FC, won championship. He trains out of a great gym. It's not like he's just a stand-up Asian fighter. He has good takedown defense. Like I said, he's strong in the clinch, good with his trip takedowns. He's a little crazy. He does keep his chin out there and drop his hands a little bit and just brawl in the pocket, but he's a fun fighter. I don't think Chris Gutierrez will match him there. I think Chris Gutierrez will probably want to keep this on the outside and stay at range with him, but I can see him dragging him. I can see Alatengheili dragging him into deep water here. His trip takedown in the clinch is really good. He fights at a good pace. Like I said, fought better guys in Road FC so far than the UFC, so this is a big test for him. Chris Gutierrez is very dangerous, very good outside striker. Can hang with anybody in the top 15. If I'm being perfectly honest, yeah, he probably won't win the guys, won't beat the guys north of 10. But he'll probably survive and actually put on a decent fight with most of them. So this is a big test for the Mongolian Knight, and a test that I think he'll overcome. And that's not throwing any disrespect to Chris Gutierrez. Chris Gutierrez should win this fight. There's a reason he's minus 250. I just think a plus 195. It's good value, and the Mongolians are on a run right now, dude. I can't pick against them. Like I said, I'm going to look really, really smart by the end of this card. I'm going to look really, really stupid depending on how it plays out. All right, third fight before we get back to the comments here. We got Tainara Lisboa against Ravena Oliveira. See, this is one of those fights where it's, again, like, what are we doing in the UFC? Do they really have that many, like, poor women's fighters on the roster right now? Honestly. Sure, it may not look like it given their records here. As you look at Oliveira here, 7-1, 6-2 for Lisboa. Let's take a deep dive, ladies and gentlemen. 4-1 in her last 5 fights, 6-2 as a pro, minus 370. She's the huge favorite. Why, you may ask? I don't know. I don't know. Without watching either of them fight, I do not know. Actually, I did see her fight before. She's okay. She's okay. 3 KO, TKO, 3 submissions, 0 decisions, 1-0 in the UFC. Yeah, she beat Jessica Rose Clark. Congratulations, dude. You submitted Jessica Rose Clark. Congratulations. She was cut after that. Before then, beat a 1-4. Like, look at her record. What the shit is this? This is a UFC fighter. Okay? This is a UFC fighter. I wish I had a cricket sound. So, okay, we look at here, like, minus 370. Like, her opponent must, like, really be crushing cans then. And you would be right to assume that. You would be 100% correct to assume that. 26 years of age, still young. 6 KO TKO. So she's knocking women out on the regional scene. 1 submission. She's never won a fight via decision, so I'll give her that. But look at this. 8-5, gal, was her best win. No wonder she's knocking these girls out. Man, this isn't the opener for the card either. This is after Chris Gutierrez. Damn, dude. Honestly, this is... The Muay Thai background is the Thai Panther versus a Brazilian brawler. I mean, they're both Brazilian, but... What the heck did I even write here? Lisboa, I got her to win. Terrible resume. What is this card? They've both beat up cans. They both knocked out cans. Even Lisboa, no good regional show opponents. Both can strike. Lisboa is a better striker. This is going to be a terrible fight, but I have Lisboa winning this one. Fought in Shooto Brazil at least. I know I skipped a bunch there by mistake, so we'll get back to this one here. I wrote it in the wrong order in my notes. That's why we skipped it. So we'll get to this one here in a sec, but back to the comments we go. Savage indeed. He's going to smash him. Agreed.
Exactly that.
Yes, the UFC's women's MMA is weak. Not worth betting on them. The money line is too far. This is a bad UFC card, man. Last week carded better fights. It did. But excited Barboza and Adrian Yanez. I imagine some of these women rankings would look different if UFC had atomweight division. I think it's so freaking dumb. The UFC has a featherweight division, but won't make a 105 division, right? They'd bring in some decent fighters too, especially from like Deep Jewels and women who are like, who may not have decent records either, but who at least put on exciting fights and who brawl in some of those Asian promotions who are tiny. Get some smaller Zhang Weili killers. Chael knew all along. Of course he did. Yo, what's up, Shane? Good to see you, buddy. He sees all. To fair, the real Chair has a video about 3 weeks old about something being wrong with Paulo. You have a good MMA brain, smart capper. Don't talk down on yourself. You even called the Super Leg upset over Rod Tang. That was far from an upset. Super Leg, he's the better fighter. You have good calls, Bobby Green, also in your D-Gen parlay. Yeah, Bobby Green was the only one that hit in the D-Gen parlay, which, by the way, stay tuned to the end of the video for the Degenerate parlay and the safe parlay of the week, brought to you by our friend Volcan. What's up, Matt W? Petroski's my lock with a card, but I've never been wrong on locks. Good to see you. Petroski does have a good chin. He gasses. That's my biggest concern, especially taking this on short notice. Yes, Inca FC is tonight, guys. Can to pad the resume. There's a bunch of 105ers fighting at 115, and they're just too small. Well, that too. They could bring in probably some more talent from other weaker promotions that, like, you know, you could definitely find some diamonds or some, again, jewels in the rough over there in deep. And 100% have some women fight at their natural weight class in the UFC. 100% agree. All right, let's get to the next one here, guys. And thank you so much for joining. Keep the comments coming. We'll get to them after these next 3 breakdowns. We have Irina Alekseeva against Melissa Dixon. Irina Alekseeva, 5-1 as a pro. She is 4-1 in her last 5 fights. She's on 2-fight win streak, plus 115. She's the light underdog coming out of Chelyabinsk, Russia, dude. And if I know anything about Chelyabinsk, and I know a little bit, is the athletes that come out of Chelyabinsk. Basically, if you survive Chelyabinsk, you are hard as fuck. Seriously. Like, you are a hell of an athlete. You have drive. You have, man, like the hockey players and some of the other athletes that I've either interviewed in the past or that I know and have followed coming out of Chelyabinsk, like, they got grit, man. They got grit. So I see that right away, and I'm like, ooh, an underdog, a close underdog out of Chelyabinsk. Sign me up. Alekseeva, the Russian Ronda Rousey, 5-1, like I said, as a pro. 1 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 2 decisions. 1-0 in the UFC, 1-0 in Bellator. She beat Stephanie Edgar and Stephanie Page. 5-2 gal, 8-3 in her last 2 fights. Beat Stephanie with a knee bar. Lost to an 8-6 gal in Pro FC. That's not a good loss there. And then beat a 5-5 gal armbar when she was 2-0. So very, very much new. Still the pro mixed martial arts, but she is decently well-rounded given her experience. Going up against Melissa Dixon. No mess. Melissa Dixon. Minus 140. She's 32 years old. Undefeated. 5-0. Everyone on Tapology is picking Melissa Dixon to win, by the way. 32, like I said. 3-0 in Golden Ticket Fight Promotion Limited.
Oh my God!
What a name. Beat a 7-0 gal in her last fight in Airs. Oh, I remember that actually. We streamed that. We did a fight companion for that one. She won in the first round, ground and pound against a 4-0 gal, or against a 7-0 gal. So not a bad, actually a good win, a great win, the best win on her resume, because before then, 6-4, 3-1, and honestly, not the best amateur career either, going 5-4. I'm going with the underdog on this one. I'm going with the, like I said, Chelyabinsk, sign me up. I'm going with the Russian Ronda Rousey. This is going to be an upset here, I think. Was it plus 115 right now? Like I said, look at the hockey players that come out of Chelyabinsk, man. Dixon only has one good win, amateur career. Not to say that Alekseeva has a better resume by any means, but she's more of a scrapper, more of a brawler. She has good grappling. I think she's just a little bit more well-rounded, to be perfectly honest. Good counter wrestling as well. Chelyabinsk, baby. Let's go. All right, next up the card. We have Terrance McKinney against Brendon Marotte. Now, Marotte taking this fight on short notice as Chris Duncan, who got a wicked knockout last year on the Contender Series, but hasn't really done much in the UFC since, if I'm not mistaken. So it's to fight Terrance McKinney here, which honestly, I was going to pick Terrance McKinney to win in that one, and I'm going to pick him to win in this one too. I'll just say it right off the bat. On the surface, 8-1 kid. Taking this fight on short notice. Okay, you're a kid on the regional who's only lost once, has a pretty good record. It should. That's what the UFC does. And sometimes these kids, even if they lose, even if they win or lose, they'll get an opportunity. Some of them pan out. Dude, this guy's resume is horrendous. Now, I've never seen him fight, so I don't want to dog him. I don't know the guy. I'm just some dude sitting behind a mic here on YouTube. But let's just say I was like, oh, sweet, 8-1. I click his resume and I was like, oh man, poor kid. Poor kid. Now he is a champion, and I keep saying kid because that's his nickname. He is a champion. 5 KO, TKO, 1 submission, 2 decision. He's a champion in that of a combat zone, ladies and gentlemen. Good gym as well with the New England Cartel, Rob Font, Calvin Cater. 5-1 in combat zone, 3-0 in CES. You guys know I'm not a big fan of CES. I think it's even worse than Fury. Actually, I know it's worse than Fury. Look at the guys that he has fought, okay? Like, what is this UFC card, guys? What is this UFC card? Like, amateur cards are better than this one. I'm serious. 11-20 guy, 3-1. 8-4 was his best win in his last 3 wins, which fine. Split decision, though, in that one. Lost to 5-1 guy. 5-8, 0-1, 0. Like, are you kidding me, bro? Decent amateur career, going 5-2. But yeah, dude. I mean, I don't even have a can handy to crush, but Terrance McKinney, he's gonna absolutely destroy this guy. And if Terrance McKinney loses, like if Terrance McKinney gets chinned by this kid, no joke, cut Terrance McKinney. I never want to hear his name again. Seriously. He's been overhyped enough. If he loses on short notice to Brendon Marotte, cut Terrance McKinney. I never want to hear his name again. Okay? I don't even know what the odds are for this one. It doesn't matter. He should win. 14-6 as a pro. Only 2-3 in his last 5 fights, but he came off a great win in his last fight. If Tapology will let us scroll. 6 KO, TKOs, 8 submissions, 0 decisions, 4-3 in the UFC, 2-0 in LFA. Yeah, he beat Mike Breeden, first round knockout. Before then, 2 losses, flying knee to bomb Fim and a rear naked choke after being dropped in the first round. And got dropped and knocked out by Drew Dober as well. Terrance McKinney. Easy. And again, if he loses, cut his ass, and we never speak of him again. All right, we already did this one. So we'll do this one before getting back. One more before we get back to the comments here, guys. Thank you for your patience. Keep the comments coming. Chat amongst yourselves as well. Man, Tapology really wants us to buy them Fitzus. $15 Amazon Prime. All right. Last card on the prelims before we get to the main card here. The damage Darren Elkins. The damage. Darren Elkins. Picture is a little old here. He doesn't have damage tattooed on his chest here yet. Up against JT Brown, downtown JT Brown. Darren Elkins is the underdog here, plus 155. He has a record of 27-11. He is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, but he did lose his last fight. 39 years of age is the damaged Darren Elkins. Damn, man. I remember when he came into the UFC. 17 wins, 10 losses. He's been in the UFC since 2010. What an absolute beauty. Before then, fought in Corral Combat Classic, among others. He got absolutely pieced up by Jonathan Pierce, dude. I think he got hit more times than he hit Jonathan Pierce in that one. Beat Tristan Connolly, lost. He got beat up by Cub Swanson as well. Got put out by Cub Swanson in the first round. Beat Derek Minner. 13-1 guy, but I don't even know who he is. Lost to Nate the Train, Ryan Hall, Volkanovski, Ricardo Lamas. He did go on a decent win streak between 2015 and 2018, where he beat Bermudez, Michael Johnson. So, I mean, like, look, he's had a good career, man. He's had a good career. He's fought some of the hardest, or the best guys in his division at the time. Chad Mendez, Jeremy Stevens, Charles Oliveira. Father Time catches up to everybody, man. And I think he's just been taking way too much damage. He's been taking way too much damage. He's the slight underdog at plus 155 because despite him taking a lot of damage, despite him being 39 years old, he's hard to put out still. He's hard to put out. JT Brown, 17 wins, 10 losses. He's 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Identical last 5 fight record as Darren Elkins. Minus 185. He's the favorite out of Little Rock, Arkansas. He grapples with Bryce Mitchell, 33 years of age. 4 KO TKO, 10 submissions, 3 decisions, 3-4 in the UFC, 1-1 in LFA, 1-0 in Contender Series. Lost to Bill Algeo in his last fight, but it wasn't like Bill Algeo just completely dominated him throughout that first round. It was actually a really competitive fight. Beat Eric Silva, was 9-1. I don't remember this fight, and I'm not even going to pretend I know how to pronounce his name. Beat Charles Rosa, Kakamaka. He's got some decent wins on his resume, and he's just coming into his own right now. Look, TJ Brown's nothing special. I get it. But he is better than Darren Elkins at this point in his career. Darren Elkins has taken way too much damage. TJ Brown's tough. It's not like Darren Elkins is going to just beat up on him and put him out if he lands some big shots as well. So I have TJ Brown getting this one. Elkins just not the same, man. Great career. So entertaining. He's gone to war for us so many times, and I have nothing but respect to him for that. But I got to call it as I see it. TJ Brown's just too tough. Now, they could have given Darren Elkins a way harder opponent and, fed him to the more vicious wolves, per se. This isn't the worst matchup for him, but I don't think he wins this one. He takes more shots than he gives them these days. TJ Brown's beaten good opponents. He's lost close decisions. He's much younger. Brown is durable and a good grappler. He's going to force this. He's going to keep this fight on the feet. Or if Elkins is landing a few good shots on him, he's like, you know what? I don't want to scrap this old man. He could honestly just out-muscle, out-grapple, out-control that of Elkins and maybe submit him or just literally drag this into a decision. But regardless, I have TJ Brown winning this one. All right, back to the comments we go. There are so many women's fights on this card. Like, come on. Dixon by TKO, says Matt. Dog. I got Terrance McKinney by TKO. I want this letter UFC sent to USADA. Mr. Grant Gregory might know where to find it. Yes, McKinney is going to win. These no-name cards more often than not turn out to be the most fun, though. Sure, but like, who on this one. That's what I mean. Like, which fight is going to be fun? Like, we will probably see some good knockouts, right? We'll probably see some good knockouts from like the really one-sided ones. Like McKinney better knock out his opponent. But no, I talked about it before. I actually hit it early, Andrew. Wait, Terrance is on the prelims on this card. That's crazy. TJ Brown just seems to always find a way to lose, even when he's winning. Fair, look, fair assessment. That's why I said he's nothing special. But against out of a Darren Elkins, I don't think he'll find a way to lose this one because Darren Elkins will just keep hitting him in the face, and TJ Brown. I keep want to say JT Brown because that's a hockey player. TJ Brown will just probably be like, all right, well, if you're gonna keep hitting me in the face, I'll just out grapple you. Like, yeah, no, I clicked it by mistake early, so I just went through it earlier on the card. The wood piece has finally officially shipped. Nice, dude. I'm gonna keep my eye out for it. I cannot wait. Thank you so much for that. Again, I know I've said thank you many times already, and I will say thank you and probably make an unboxing video and everything on the channel. But man, you are far too kind, and I appreciate the support that you show the channel for being an exclusive member all the time, showing up in near all the live streams, liking the videos, and being active in the Discord, and for sending that gift. Like, I am so, as you would say, freaking pumped for it, my man, as I drink my decaf, funny enough, latte here tonight. Cheers, Benjamin. Finish it off. Oh, yes, Shane, this is the question. Because I didn't have the answer for him. It's not out yet. It'll be out soon, apparently. You saw that has like 22 minutes to respond. Oh, gotcha. I'm just saying, Mr. Grant Gregory, he's got some eyes and ears inside the world of mixed martial arts, because he's gotten me scorecards, info that I didn't even know I wanted, that I didn't even know I needed. And just sometimes it just shows up. Just shows up in me DMs. All right, keep the comments coming, guys. This is amazing. We have a great crowd here for this predictions video. Pretty much we're going to keep doing these every Thursday, and it seems like you guys dig this time. So even though hockey season has started, I appreciate you guys for joining, and no one really gives a fuck about Thursday Night Football anyway. So let's move up the card. Christian Rodriguez up against Cameron Saaiman. Saaiman. Apparently the MMA guru is going to be flying to South Africa soon to do some content with Saaiman. Apparently teased it on his channel. All right, Christian Rodriguez, C-Rod against MSP. Christian Rodriguez 9-1 as a pro. He is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He's on 2-fight win streak, and he is the favorite at -140 out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My next door neighbor, 25 years of age. And he's a Rufus Sport guy. 3 KO, TKO, 4 submissions, 2 decision. An incredible prospect in mixed martial arts in the UFC. Incredibly well-rounded and a damn good wrestler. 2-1 in the UFC, 2-0 in LFA, 1-0 in Bellator, and 1-0 off Contender Series.
That shit beautiful than a motherfucker.
A resume for only being 9-1 as a pro. Unbelievable. He beat Rosas Jr. unanimous decision in his last fight, before then beat Joshua Weems, who was 10-2. Lost to Jonathan Pierce unanimous decision in a close decision, and before them was undefeated. Where he crushed a few cans, but 4-2 guy in Cage Fury FC when he was 4-0, 5-1 guy when he was 5-0, 2-0 when he was 3-0. You know what I'm saying? Like, you beat a 9-6 guy when he was 2-0. If anything, I kind of like to see guys who are 1-0, 2-0 going up against those who may not have a good record, maybe under 500 or hanging around there, but have the experience, going up against someone who has experience, who's been there before, under the bright lights, nonetheless. His opponent, if you don't know, now you know. Cameron Saaiman, incredible prospect. I believe before Raul Rosas Jr.'s, he was the youngest fighter off Contender Series, or even just to be signed to the UFC. 9-0 as a pro. I don't know if he was the EFC champion, but he tore it up in EFC before joining the UFC, and he's looked damn good in the UFC thus far. 6 KO, TKO, 1 submission, 2 decision, 3-0 in the UFC, 1-0 off Contender Series. He got a beautiful knockout on Contender Series. Not last season, but the season before. Beat Terrance Mitchell, easy ground and pound in the first round. Beat Martinez, beat Steven Koslow, and Josh Wang Kim, knocked out in the 3rd round on Contender Series. He's got to watch those eye pokes. He's got to watch those kicks to the balls, as he has fouled his opponent quite a bit. He's kicked his opponent so many times in the balls that he's actually gotten a point taken away. So those low kicks, I'm sure he's working on, but hasn't crushed cans throughout his career either. I mean, when you're 2-0 going up against 4-3, whatever, 4-4, 3-0, but 8-7, 4-0. But then, 5-1, 6-0, 10-3, 4-2, 9-1 in a decorated amateur career, going 5-0 as well. I cannot believe he's coming as the underdog here. I really can't. This one I can say smash the underdog. Christian Rodriguez is good. Christian Rodriguez will be great in the UFC. I am very confident in him. Saaiman will be better. I truly believe it. Saaiman will be better. I got Saaiman especially at plus money right now, even if it's just at plus 115. This is a very close and even fight. It is, and it's awesome to see 2 prospects going at it right now, because these 2 could very well fight each other again in like 5 years down the line in the UFC. Knock on wood, they stay relatively healthy and, progress in a way where they could meet again. Like, this could be like McGregor Poirier back in like when they were on the rise in the UFC, then fought each other down the line again, because they are both very talented prospects in the promotion, and this one should be a fun one. But I am going with Saaiman. He keeps impressing me every pass, and he's passing every single test the UFC throws in front of him as well. He's a very good grappler, though I think Christian Rodriguez is the better wrestler and better at passing guard, changing position, scoring in wrestling. I think Saaiman is a better grappler in mixed martial arts, in that he gets into positions where he can do that can set him up to do damage or set up submissions, rather control, if that makes sense. So, I mean, like, even there, but they bring different tools. I think Saaiman's is a little just more savage. Honestly, though, I think this will likely stay on the feet, because I think Christian Rodriguez will probably want to take it to the ground more than Saaiman, but that's just a guess. That's just a projection, and I think Saaiman will probably want to keep it on the feet, but who knows? For some reason, I think that they'll try to grapple early and then end up just keep staying on the feet. Like, maybe the first round could be might be a big mix, but I think second and third, this will likely stay on the feet. And if it does, I know Saaiman has the better power at 135. Yeah, Simon's a better striker. He has a better power. I think the underdog takes this one, as I said, locking it in. All right, next on the card here, and again, we'll get back to the comments after 2 more rundowns. We got the rematch, Edgar Cháirez against Daniel Lacerda. Now, these guys just fought, what was it, just a month or 2 ago? Not even, like a month ago? That fight was turned to a no contest due to, was it Christione or Keith Peterson ending the fight early, assuming that Lacerda was out in a guillotine after his arm went a little limp. He didn't give the thumbs up, you know what I mean? So it's kind of on him for not communicating the best he could in the moment with the ref, but at the end of the day, it was an early stoppage by the referee, who was a little trigger hungry, might I say. Edgar Cháirez, 10-5 as a pro, but don't let his resume fool you. He is a tough son of a bitch, and he is the favorite at minus 280. What's up, King James? I see you. We'll get back to the comments here in a sec. 27 years old too. He's still very, very young. Daniel Lacerda, he was on a 4-fight losing streak going into that fight. He's one of the shoebox guys who is just not that good. He tries to land a big kick every time, and if he doesn't land, or a fancy shot, a knee, spinning kick, spinning back fist, he doesn't land that, it's like he gasses in the second round. It's good night, Jim Kite. Edgar Cháirez, I had winning their first fight, by the way. 4 KO, TKO, 6 submissions. He's actually a very, very good grappler, as we saw in the Terrance fight. He's only finished his opponents. He's lost 3 times via decision. He's never won via decisions. 0-1-1 in the UFC against Tainara, where he went to decision with. And I thought Tainara was going to absolutely destroy this man. No. Tainara won the fight unanimous decision, and rightly so. But man, I was very, very impressed with what I saw from that of Cháirez. And he didn't get into the UFC off Contender Series. Felipe dos Santos pulled out Daniel Lacerda. He was supposed to fight, but again, premature stoppage. Was on 2-fight win streak before fighting Tainara in the UFC. A win in Fury and an absolute can. So that's the thing. He's like, his resume doesn't do him justice. He beat a 10-3 guy, 5-2. Okay, 4-1 when he was 5-2. But overall, you're kind of just like, meh. It's an okay. I mean, he beat a 7-4 guy when he was 3-0. So there was flashes of greatness, I guess. His grappling has little to no holes. I'll say that. He may not be on the offense the whole time. His striking might not be as polished as you'd hope, but I was blown away by his grappling when I saw him fight Tainara, who's a very, very good grappler and a very, very good undefeated UFC prospect, 13-0 right now. Lacerda just leaves me wanting more every single time.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
Every single time, Lacerda.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
I'm impressed by some of your striking, but that's about it. 0-4 in the UFC, 1 no contest, 2-1 in Shooto Brazil. I mean, cut this man in the UFC. If you lose, he's lost CJ Vergara, Altamirano, Francisco Figueiredo ain't that great either. Jeff Molina. I mean, man, come on, dude. Like, what good wins do you have? What good wins do you have? A 5-0 and a 5-1 guy. Yeah, Cháirez is going to win this one. Cháirez either knocks him out or submits him, locking it in. All right, we will hit up one more here, and we'll save the last 3 for the last segment. Let's get to the fight that honestly should be the co-main event, if you ask me. Michel Pereira against Andre Petroski. Now, I know Petroski taking this fight on short notice. I know Petroski filling in for that of a... Who the fuck was it again? I thought I had it in my notes. Marc-Andre Barriault, that's right. The power bar out of Canada, who, by the way, just signed to fight Chris Curtis in the Toronto card. So that'll be fun. And that'll be a good fight, actually. But anyways, Michel Pereira against Andre Petroski. Now, if I was to tell you that Michel Pereira's on a friggin' 5-fight win streak right now, would you not be surprised? Honestly, man, he was flashier outside the UFC. Since the Diego Sanchez loss, he really, tightened things up on his capoeira mid-fight, in-cage, I should say. And he's been incredibly boring in the UFC, if you ask me. I'm not impressed by your performance. I have not been impressed by Michel Pereira's performance. Post-regional, there's a couple good fights in the UFC there, like flash fights, post the Diego Sanchez fight. Now, have there been flashes? 100%. But this guy's built to be, the Johnny Walker of the, welterweight division. That super ripped athletic guy who does a bunch of crazy shit and who quite literally breakdances there in the cage, win, loss, or mid-fight. I don't know. Is his striking really that good? I was so excited to see him against Wonderboy to see if his striking was actually good. I don't know. For me, I'm not impressed. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's a great. He's in the UFC. But anyways, I don't know. He's very big for the division. He cuts a lot of weight, as we know. But he is on a tremendous win streak here. He's going up against Andre Petroski, who's on a great win streak in his own right, but taking this fight on short notice, has cardio issues already, and I'm not going to lie, looked really bad against Gerald Meerschaert. Now, that fight could be fight of the night because it was a brawl, but it was just 2 tired guys, but entering the 3rd round, just so winging for the fences. Andre Petroski was so sloppy in the 3rd round. I mean, you honestly, some judges... Meerschaert could have won that fight. He really could have. Because he was still landing big shots on Petroski, who was just looked like he was dazed and rocked the entire 3rd round. But he does bring it early. There is talent there, and he is incredibly strong. Michel Pereira, 28-11 in his pro MMA career. He was supposed to fight Wonderboy in his last fight, but he missed weight, and Wonderboy declined. 10 KO TKO, 6 submissions, 11 decisions, 6-2 in the UFC, 2-1 in XFN, 3-0 in Road FC, and 2-1 in Serbian Battle Championship. So he's been around, man. XFC and Road FC, two really good promotions. Beat Santiago Ponzinibbio, split decision. Beat Andre Fialho, unanimous. He couldn't even knock out Fialho, dude. Come on. Beat Nico Price back in 2021, or Nico Price, far from Nico Price in his early days. Chaos Williams is a good win. And Zalim Imadiev, that's a good win too. That one he actually finished. That's probably his best win out of all of these, to be perfectly honest. Lost controversial to Diego Sanchez, lost Tristan Connolly. Before then, beat Danny Roberts, Da-Sung Kim, and Wajung Chao. So honestly, like this era was the fun era of Michel Pereira, in my opinion. He has been getting wins. I'm not knocking him for getting wins. I'm just saying he's not this exciting, unbelievable striker that everyone keeps telling me that he is. I haven't seen it yet. Okay, I saw it early. I haven't seen it now that he's been tightening things up. All I know from him is that he gasses in the third round because he usually fights at a stupid, crazy pace, and that pace isn't striking people. It's quite literally breakdancing, and he cuts a lot of weight. I just want to see him against better competition. And unfortunately, we're not going to see that against Andre Petroski, who's good, but he's not that step up as I said I wanted to see. Really strong grappler, okay striker. I mean, he's fine everywhere. Can we still call him a prospect, or is he what he is at this point? 4 KO TKO, 4 submissions, 2 decisions, 5-0 in the UFC, 0-1 in LFA. Like I said, beat Gerald Mershart, very close split decision. Has been focusing a lot on grappling. Lost to Rene Souza, but beat Ovise Prue. Beat Wellington Turman in his fight before. Mershart beat Nix Maximov. Couple grappling wins there. Beat Eric Anders in a grappling match, which is huge. He's a big boy. Look, he's got some good wins, man. He's got some good wins on his resume. Was in the Ultimate Fighter, lost to Brian Battle there, and Aaron Jeffrey in LFA. So he's lost to Brian Battle and Aaron Jeffrey. Those are, Aaron Jeffrey's a fine Bellator fighter. Brian Battle's obviously doing good things in the UFC. And he had a great amateur career going 7-1. These Philly guys, they all train together as well. Oh man, I even have on my notes here. This one is the hardest one for me to pick because I am not drinking the Kool-Aid on this guy. I'm really not. I'm not sold on him yet. But he's been in camp. He's been in camp for Stephen Thompson. He was ready to go. He was ready to go up against a high level guy or I should say a high pace fighter in Marc-Andre Barrio, who doesn't seem to slow down. Right, so he was preparing to fight a guy with good cardio and a guy who doesn't get finished easily, to going up against a guy who gasses easily, taking the fight on short notice. That's what terrifies me. Like my intricate, my critique on the intricate things of Michel Pereira, the things that everyone I think overhypes aside, that alone should be enough to beat Andre Petroski. Yet somehow, gassing in the third round, gassing in the second round, he is somehow still undefeated in the UFC. What are the odds? I know Petroski's he must be a big underdog in this one. Fuck. This is going to be the one that bites me in the ass, doesn't it? My gut says Petroski, man. I'm going Petroski. Fuck. God damn it. This one's going to stress me out. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight or tomorrow. I'm really not. This one is literally going to keep me up all night. I should just go back to drinking caffeinated coffee because I'm not going to sleep tonight anyways, guys. I'm not going to fucking sleep tonight anyways. I'm going to get nightmares. I'm going to get nightmares from this one. Andre Petroski, he's my pick. Pereira, sure. Better technique. He doesn't swing like a madman when he's tired in the second round. He also struggles with weight. That is a Pereira. But Petroski didn't look good against Gerard Mershart. Gas is hard. I feel like I just went over all my notes here. Barrio pulled out, so he's preparing for a guy, with high level pace and cardio. Pereira, 4 decisions in a row, so he could drag this. I mean, they both could gas in the third, and the third just could be a slugfest or a slogfest again. And if that's the case, maybe Petroski pulls it out or just gets dominated. Who knows? Tough pick. Don't trust either. I hate this one. This one, I'm honestly like, this just ruined my night having to highlight both of these guys right here. But yeah, Petroski, and this one's probably going to bite me in the ass. All right. I need some positivity because I'm honestly like I'm my night is ruined now. So let's get back to the live chat here because I'm already stressed. Cam is a nice dog, money bet, but his opponent has good ground game. But I would say that Cam's ground game is as good. 2 wood pieces coming. One should arrive tomorrow. The other should arrive Saturday.
Oh my God.
Dude, I cannot wait to feature them on the stream. Thank you, buddy. Wow. Yep, I believe Cameron shall win. Giga Chad, South Africa. I think he's a dog because all the casuals are remembering the Raul win, but he ain't that good. What's up, King James? Lacerda gassing is non-existent after the first round. Cháirez is going to win again. Yeah, dude, I like Cháirez too. I hope he puts together a win streak. Nice sound clip. Michel got humbled by a featherweight, Tristan Connolly. Michel is boring decision fighter. He won't be the same at middleweight. Right, this is at middleweight. This isn't at welterweight. Still. If anything, I try to or whatever. You guys talk about shoes, so which is awesome. I love it. Michel's distance striking is really good. The interesting thing is Michel might not have the cardio issue since he isn't cutting a lot of weight anymore. Fought all his career 170. That's right. I guys, my apologies. And I should have seen it since it was on screen. I just assumed Michel Pereira's welterweight. So my apologies for that. So I don't know. He's still a big dude, but I guess that begs the question. I'm still picking Petroski. I'm not going to backpedal. Was the weight cut the reason for his cardio issues, or is he just like a big muscle shark type of guy who doesn't matter at what weight class you're holding that much muscle, like they need oxygen. Seems a lot more lately big fights have fallen through. Yeah, that's true. I'm just getting through some of these comments, guys. Look at that, Shane. This is amazing. Who knew we had a runners community in the live chat here? Andrew A. Thank you so much for joining as always, buddy. We will see you tomorrow. Cage Fury FC tomorrow, guys. Cage Fury FC tomorrow. All right. Next card, guys. I think just because he's jumping around in the cage, I think anyone would die hard in cardio if they were doing backflips. That's true. But like I said in the rundown there, he hasn't been as like capoeira as of late. He was in his first 2 fights in the UFC, or I would say first 4 fights in the UFC. He was a little bit more crazy. But after the Sanchez loss, he's kind of matured a little bit, maybe. Anyways, last 3 fights on the card here, guys. Then we'll wrap it up. But not before giving you guys our degenerate and safe parlays of the week. I got to watch the Minnesota Wild game is about to start. And I am hosting a post-game show on my second channel, the Sota Pod, around 10:30 Eastern, if you guys want to join us for that. All right. Featured fight on the card. This one, another one that possibly could have been co-main event, but was held back. Anyways. Jonathan Martinez against Adrian Yanez. The Dragon, Jonathan Martinez, 18-4. He is 5-0 in his last 5 fights up against Adrian Yanez, who is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He got knocked the frick out by that of a Rob Font. Both of them out of Texas, man. Both of them 29 as well. Jonathan Martinez, huge fan of Jonathan Martinez. He's a Factory X guy, if I'm not mistaken. He trains at a different breed MMA. Okay. 8 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 8 decisions. Very well-rounded, very dangerous. 9-3 in the UFC, 3-0 in XFN. Beat Said Nurmagomedov. Beat Cub Swanson. Beat Vince Morales. Beat Andre Perez. Look at some of these wins he has here. Now, again, Vince Morales, not the best resume. He's a good fighter. Perez, I don't know too much about, to be perfectly honest. Cub Swanson, he destroyed Cub Swanson with the leg kicks. And he looked so good against Said Nurmagomedov, and this 13-0 cat he beat as well. I remember watching this guy in he was in LFA first, right? Oh, he was a Legacy SC before they even merged. Yeah, back in 2015. He lost a match Schnell. That's right. His only okay, so he has a few losses here, but still, my goodness. His first loss was to Matt Schnell, yeah. Anyways, I'm super high on this guy. I think he's just incredibly well-rounded. Hits hard, good grappling, good cardio. Just coming into his own. It's near even, -110. Or it is even. It's a pick 'em here, -110. Going up against Adrian Yanez, talented striker, good boxing on the regional scene for sure. Not sure if it's translated well into the UFC, especially not against the higher end opponents. 10 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 4 decisions, 5-1 in the UFC, 3-2 in LFA. I guess that's translated to the guys outside of the rankings. 1-0 in Bellator, 1-0 off Contender Series. Adrian Yanez, kind of like that of a Michel Pereira, is a guy who I always thought, yeah, on the regional scene, you're good. You're good against guys who are coming right off the regional scene. But I'm not impressed by your performance. I never was overly impressed by his performance. The dude he knocked out who was saying some racist shit towards the Brazilians, like that was funny when he like flipped him the bird after. So I was a fan of him after that. But yeah, he went on a good run there. After losing to Miles Johns, split decisions in LFA. Boom. Fury FC, LFA, Contender Series, UFC. That was an unbelievable streak he was on, only to lose to Rob Font by getting knocked out. Look, Adrian Yanez, he's a talented striker. I don't know if he's a prospect anymore in the UFC. He's 29. He's 5-1 in the UFC. I don't think he's as well-rounded as Jonathan Martinez. So I'm picking Jonathan Martinez. And I just think because they're both good fighters. They're both the same age. They're both pretty much the same experience in the UFC. I quite frankly, Martinez, I think has better should I even say better knockout power? No, I'm just going to say he's stronger and he's well-rounded. He's also has better wins, in my opinion. He's more dangerous in different areas of mixed martial arts. Yeah, good boxing for Yanez, good regional wins, but I just think Martinez is better in all. It's as simple as that. There's not really much I can break down other than that. I think in every other area other than just like pure in the pocket boxing, I think Jonathan Martinez is the better fighter, and I'm taking him. Anyways, co-main event of the evening. Let's get to it. Jennifer Maia against Viviane Arroyo. Arroyo's on a 2-fight losing streak right now, whereas Maia's on a 2-fight win streak. Arroyo is 2-3 in her last 5 fights. 36 years of age. She's a slight underdog, plus 125. Training out of Serato MMA. 3 KO, TKO, 4 submissions, 4 decisions, 5-4 in the UFC. Lost to Rebas. She got destroyed by Rebas. Lost to Grasso. So not the two losses that aren't the worst losses. Beat Andrea Lee. Lost to Caitlin Chukagian. So she did. Let's just. So these aren't the worst losses to have on your resume. Okay. But Rieska, who have you beaten? Andrea Lee, Roxanne Modafari, Montana De La Rosa, who we saw last weekend. So that's just the thing. She's fought good opponents and lost to them, but she hasn't beaten pretty much anybody. We look at Jennifer Maia, formal title challenger, 3-2 in her last 5 fights, minus 150. A year younger, believe it or not, than Arroyo as well. And her resume is actually quite respectable. Trains at a shooter box as well. 3 KO, TKO, 6 submissions, 12 decisions, 6-5 in the UFC, 4-2 in Invicta. Fraud checked Casey O'Neill. Should be Casey O'Neill. There's so much hype around Casey O'Neill, who I don't think is a bad fighter, but Made it look easy. Beat Marina Moroz, who's a talented striker. She beat her unanimous decision. Lost Manon Fior and Caitlin Chukagian, again, top contenders in her division. Beat Jessica I. Lost to the champion. Beat Joanne Wood. You lost to Caitlin Chukagian twice. Caitlin Chukagian is always like the next one up, is always like ranked like 1, 2, or 3. Lost to Liz Carmouche. Again, title contender at the time. Good stand-up, decent jiu-jitsu. Been around for a while, and I think she's absolutely going to destroy Arroyo. Honestly, like I could see Jennifer Maia finishing her, and I don't lean towards the women's MMA finish more than the decision. In this case, I think Jennifer Maia is going to absolutely destroy her. She's better. She's a better boxer. She trains at a better gym. She's a better grappler. She's more well-rounded. She's more dangerous. Arroyo can hold her own on the feet, and that's the only really compliment I can give her in a head-to-head comparison and breakdown. Maia's fought better competition as well. It should be a dominant performance. All right, main event of the evening. Let's get to it here. Then I'll get back to your guys' comments. Sodiq Yusuff against Edson Barboza. Another honestly close one on the card. Look, if this was 3-4 years ago, Edson Barboza easy. Okay, he's only 37. This 3-4 years ago, Edson Barboza easy. No ifs, ands, or buts, no questions asked. Especially given his frame compared to that of a Sodiq Yusuff. A little bit more of a compact, more powerful one-shot hitter. But Barboza, those lanky limbs, so athletic, was so incredibly deadly with his kicks and his quite frankly, unique striking at the time. But I mean, his kicks were just, they were incredible. They still are, but they were absolutely incredible in his prime. He is, does have a little momentum here coming off that last win against Billy Quarantillo, who he knocked out. He was on a 2-fight losing streak before that, but he has 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He is a slight underdog at plus 140, so he's a good underdog. I'm going to say it right now. Barboza is a good underdog, but am I confident in a Barboza at 37 years old against a hard hitter like Sodiq Yusuff? Let's be honest. Billy Quarantillo, he's a little flashy, but he's not as hard of a hitter as that of a Sodiq Yusuff. I don't know. I'm not as confident. But let's take a look at this legend's career. Like he's a walking highlight reel, man. He's a walking highlight reel, that of an Edson Barboza. And he doesn't have much time left. Trains out of the Armory and American Top Team. 13 KO TKO, 2 submissions, 8 decisions, 17-11 in the UFC. Man, it's crazy. I remember when he came into the UFC. He's been in the UFC for 13 years. He also fought in Renaissance Mixed Martial Arts. He knocked out Billy Quarantillo with a nasty knee in the first round. Before then, lost to Bryce Mitchell, Giga Chikadze. Beat Shane Burgos with that weird TKO. Beat Marcon Americani, but who hasn't? Was on a 3-fight losing streak before that to Dan Ige, Paul Felder, Justin Gaethje. Again, killers in the division. Beat Dan Hooker. That's aged well. Lost Kevin Lee and Khabib. Again, he's fought the best of the best, man. He's beat Dariush, beat Melendez, beat Anthony Pettis. Beat Felder at one point as well. Fought Ferguson, Bobby Green, Cerrone, Michael Johnson. I mean, look at this. He fought everybody. Look at that shit. It's been in the UFC for so long. Crazy, man. Yeah, he's a legend. And he's still kicking it. And honestly, Sodiq Yusuff is like, he's a good fighter. He is. Is he anything special? No. That's why I'm like, Barboza could get it done here, because like Sodiq Yusuff, though he hits harder than that of Billy Quarantillo, he's kind of on that level. Like he's not a ranked guy. He may never go on a run where he fights for the title. He's kind of in that tier. Good, 30 to 15 type tier. Good, not great. Hasn't showed me anything that I could that can convince me at all that you're a future champion, but I haven't seen that much negative that would lead me to believe that there's never a possibility that you could go on a run and get into the rankings sort of thing. But anyway, super Sodiq Yusuff, 30 years of age, 7 years the younger. He's fighting out of Maryland, but he's from Nigeria. Minus 165 favorite. He is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He's on a 2-fight win streak. So 13-2. 6 KO, TKOs, 1 submission, 6 decisions. He's 6-1 in the UFC, coming off Contender Series in 2018. Beat Don Cháirez in his last fight via guillotine choke in the first round. Don Cháirez is fine. Nothing. Don Cháirez is not that good. Let's be perfectly honest. But 12-3. Beat Cháirez, which honestly that wins age pretty well given the run that Cháirez went on after. Lost to Arnold Allen. Hey, he went 3 rounds with Arnold Allen. Beat Andre Philly, Benitez, Moraes, Mokhtarian. That's a good win. Mike Davis, who's undefeated. Dylan Tuke, the Nuke. Dylan Tuke's actually damn good as well. And he knocked him out. He knocked out the Nuke. He honestly has a good resume, man. He's got a good. He's 3-0. He beat a 9-3 guy, man. He's a good resume. Undefeated on the amateur scene, going 7-0. Again, if this was 3-4 years ago, I'd pick Barboza, no questions asked. The size difference is going to be evident, but I think if Sodiq Yusuff gets into the pocket, he can do damage. I think if he takes Barboza to the ground, he'll be able to lay down some ground and pound. Barboza's not a bad underdog. I could be burned on this one, but I'm going with the favorite, Sodiq Yusuff. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat. Before we get to the live chat and then end off the show after reading your guys' comments, I'm going to give out the degenerate and safe parlay of the week. Thank you, everyone who's been joining us live for an hour. Thank you, everyone who rewatched this for an hour. Thank you to everyone who's just been sifting through, clicking the timestamps on Friday, if you're watching this on Friday or Saturday morning. But this is the moment you've all been waiting for. I wish I had a drum roll soundbite, but this is the degenerate and safe parlay of the week. We'll start with safe. The City Light Project Safe Parlay of the Week, brought to you by our friend Volcan, consists of Terrance McKinney, Edgar Cháirez, and Jennifer Maya.
Exactly that.
All right, you guys ready for this? The degenerate parlay of the week. The degenerate parlay of the week.
Emotional damage.
We're starting it off hot. Ashley Yoder, Brendon, Marotte, and Darren Elkins. This one might be the most degenerate of all degenerate plays. Again, Yoder, Marotte, and Elkins might, like, if that hits, that, like, I hope one of you becomes a multimillionaire if that hits, honestly. I wonder what the odds are on that shit. Anyways, back to the comments we go before hanging up the gloves. I'm just scrolling down here. So I scrolled up way too high here, so I'm just coming back down. Okay. Talking about my arches are good, by the way. They ain't golden, but they good. Jonathan Martinez is the truth, and I got him on my parlays, but goddamn, Yanez scares me too. He's so good. Dude, Martinez is damn good. No, that's a good matchup. That should be a really good fight. Great breakdowns, bro. Thanks for your time and breakdowns. Oh, cheers, buddy. Thank you. What's up, Hoggy from home? What's up? I was choked to death in my partner in Taekwondo class today. Well, not death since you're commenting, so that's good. We're doing self-defense. My master twisted my ankle so badly. Do you think the Canucks will actually go 0-82? Well, they can't because they won their first game last night, so it's been broken. Kyle said, thank you so much for the support, Hockey from home. Sodiq's Arnold Allen loss would probably be a win for him if it happened today. He landed way more of the powerful strikes in the fight. I really like Sodiq for the win. Dude, Yoder, Marotte, and Elkins is the most degenerate. Like, if Yoder and Marotte wins and Elkins ruins it for us and loses, I'm going to be so pissed. Oh, cheers, buddy. I appreciate you. We'll say plus 5,000. That's pretty good, honestly. I'd drop 500 on that shit. If I had 500 to burn. I'll drop $5 on that. Yeah, buddy. Yes, please do. Please do. So that's it, guys. That's it for the show. Again, a reminder, I'll just blast through my picks here. I have Emily Ducote. I have Alatengheili. I have Irina, Alekseeva, Terrance McKinney, Tainara, Lisboa, TJ Brown, Cameron Saaiman, Edgar Cháirez, Andre Petroski. Oh, that one I'm scared of the most. Jonathan Martinez, Jennifer Maya, and Sodiq Yusuff. And again, reminder, the smart parlay of the week brought to you by our friend Volcan here. Terrance McKinney, Edgar, Cháirez, and Jennifer Maya. Honestly, Jennifer Maya is the only one that I think could maybe screw that one up. Or if somehow Daniel Lacerda lands that crazy spinning kick that he throws in his in the first round in every single one of his fights. Again, if Terrance McKinney loses, cut him. I never want to hear his name again. And the degenerate parlay of the week, Ashley Yoder, Brendon, Marotte, and Darren Elkins. We're going to the moon, baby. We're going to the moon. No problem, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And I will see you tomorrow. Cage Fury FC live stream. We're dropping a video tonight, as well as two more on Sunday. I'm gonna try to bank some videos that I can edit on Sunday, guys. Again, reminder, I'm streaming tonight in about 2 to 3 hours. Or we'll say 2.5 hours on my second channel, the Soda Pod. I will be there after the Minnesota Wild game to talk hockey, to talk puck, to sulk or celebrate based on how their home opener goes. Let's go Wild, baby. And I will see you folks this weekend for a ton of streams. The stream schedule is up. Cage Fury FC tomorrow. Videos dropping on this channel. And check out my second channel, the Soda Pod, to join us for the post-game show tonight. Thank you guys for joining. Smash that like button. Comment if you agree with my picks. Comment your parlays, your picks, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Go Wild, baby. Thank you so much for joining.